Amaka had always been drawn to the vibrant stories and dazzling visuals of Korean films. Growing up in Nigeria, she spent hours watching her favorite dramas, captivated by the romance, family dynamics, and stunning scenery. Her love for Korean culture grew over the years, blossoming into a fantasy. Marrying a Korean man and building a life in Korea. To her, it seemed like a dream come true, a life straight out of her beloved dramas. Her passion for Korean films and culture inspired her to pursue a medical scholarship in South Korea. She worked tirelessly to excel in her studies, convinced that moving to Korea would bring her closer to the life she'd always imagined. When she received her acceptance letter, she was ecstatic, her dreams finally within reach. But reality hit her harder than she expected. Upon arriving in South Korea, she was struck by the cultural differences. People stared at her on the streets, their curiosity often crossing boundaries when they tried to touch her hair. The constant attention made her self-conscious and drained her emotionally. Language barriers only added to her struggles. She found it challenging to communicate, often feeling isolated and misunderstood. Then came Suho, a resident doctor at the hospital where she began her studies. Suho's first interaction with Amaka was far from comforting. He couldn't resist teasing her about her accent and awkward attempts to speak Korean. Yet, behind his playful jabs, Suho recognized a familiar struggle. Growing up in an orphanage, he had experienced his own challenges learning to navigate the world. Her determination reminded him of his younger self. Amaka's frustration with Suho gradually turned to gratitude as he started helping her with the language and cultural nuances. Suho's patient guidance and subtle encouragement bridged the gap between their differences, and a friendship blossomed. Over time, their bond grew deeper, though neither openly acknowledged the feelings stirring between them. But life had other plans. Suho received an opportunity to further his education in the United States, and their friendship came to an abrupt end. Amaka was heartbroken. Losing her closest companion left her feeling adrift, but it also forced her to refocus on her studies. She channeled her pain into her ambition, determined to make the most of her opportunity in Korea. Months turned into years. Amaka's hard work paid off when she won a prestigious competition, earning her a residency at a top hospital in the United States. Excited for a fresh start, she packed her bags, ready to embrace the next chapter of her life. Fate had a surprise in store. During a chaotic night in the emergency room, a patient with a broken leg and multiple injuries was rushed in. Amaka was the attending doctor, and as she examined the man, something about him felt familiar. It wasn't until later that she realized the patient was Suho. Their reunion was bittersweet. Suho had been injured while protecting his girlfriend during an accident. The revelation stung. Amaka's heart ached with unspoken feelings she had buried long ago. She tended to him with professional composure, masking the pain she felt inside. Days turned into weeks as Suho recovered, and their paths crossed more frequently. Despite the awkwardness, they couldn't ignore the connection that still lingered between them. Suho, too, began to question the life he had built and the choices he had made. The accident had forced him to confront what truly mattered. In time, Suho and Amaka found themselves drawn to each other again. Through honesty and vulnerability, they began to rebuild their friendship, acknowledging the deep bond that had never really faded. As Amaka reflected on her journey, she realized that life as an immigrant had tested her resilience in ways she never expected. But it had also brought her closer to discovering her true self, and a love story more genuine than any she had ever imagined in her fantasies. If you've enjoyed this story, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.